We can't. This is no. You got to go on to keep the ball. You got to maintain possession of the ball. You got to keep playing because France still has something in them. And you think about how a game can change somebody's life. Think about Gonzalo Montiel and the fact that it is him who gets called for the handball as he turns his body away from Kylian Mbappe. Now Mbappe ties the game up. And as we go into penalties, and I know I'm jumping the gun here, it is Gonzalo Montiel that scores the winner. Life has a way of presenting opportunities for you, and it's whether you take advantage of those chances or not. And while Gonzalo Montiel may have been carrying a lot of pressure for that penalty because he is the one that by committing the handball takes this into penalties, he's able to deliver. That's yet another story within the story. But as we go back into Kylian Mbappe and being able to step up and take another penalty with all the pressure, he knows full well what's at stake. He knows what's in play here, and he knows he is the right guy to take that responsibility for France and did it so well. Scores his third goal, hat-trick in the final, and yet he's unhappy.
Oh, I mean, anybody's going to be unhappy after this, isn't it? But in terms of the critics, what can they say against him in this final? As you said, Ali, a hat-trick in a final. He'd already scored in the 2018 final. And then to go and do this is just super special from Kylian Mbappe. We already know he's already hit the mark. We already know he's one of the best in the world right now. But this feels like even another level for him, Luis. The fact that at this level, once again, he delivered. He did what he could for his team today.
Absolutely. France had no right to get back into the game with 10 minutes to go in this, regardless of the mistakes by Argentina. They had no right because also Didier Deschamps had many things wrong for the majority of this game, and it took a few, adjustments specifically in the second to get it going. They had zero right, France, to make it this far. They had zero right to take it to penalties, and yet Kylian Mbappe continued to deliver. It's not just him, because I thought Camavinga was also excellent when he came on as well, making up for a lot of lost time at the back as well. And also the aforementioned, Thuram as well. And of course, Upamecano, who delivered with two fantastic blocks / tackles. But Mbappe, I know he's not happy. He shouldn't be happy because ultimately France didn't win the World Cup. But like I said before, a tremendous individual performance. I mean, the second goal was remarkable, a remarkable finish. And it must have taken so much for him to do that. So, take nothing away from his individual brilliance. Surely, of course, France will be back as well.
Who is back as well here on the Daily is Mark Ogden. Mark Ogden, have you ever seen anything like that?
It was just an amazing game. I mean, people say, was it the best World Cup final I've ever seen? It was the best final I've ever seen. It was probably the best game I've ever seen. It was just, I mean, it was unbelievable. I mean, everything, it had everything, and it had two of the best players in the world absolutely coming up to level. I mean, Mbappe scored a hat-trick and he's finished on the losing side. I mean, that is just the World. You scored a hat-trick in a World Cup final and you finish on the losing side. I mean, that is just indescribable. But Messi, I've watched Messi at times. I'm thinking, he's 35 and he just can't get away from players anymore. And is he going to be able to do it in the final against France? And he did it. And he was really, really trying everything to get that World Cup, to get the goal. The shot that was saved by Lloris, even though he's not got the pace he used to have, he's still got that in him to make the difference. And I mean, seriously, my wife and daughter was watching that game, and they don't watch football, and they were like screaming at it. It was just such a great game. That's the thing with the World Cup. People that you would never ever watch. My daughter hates football, and she's loving it. So what a game! I mean, what a game! I just can't stop saying it because it was just. Finals are usually really boring. Finals are usually tense and games that everyone's frightened to lose. This was just ridiculous.
Thank you very much for watching ESPN FC on YouTube. For more highlights, analysis and exclusive content, be sure to subscribe.